equals to minus 1, right? That is s plus 1 is equals to 0. So s is equals to minus 1. This is one of the rule.
Sir, the plus one ಆಗಲ್ಲ sir. ಮೇಲೆ
ಏನಿದೆಪ್ಪ ಮೇಲೆ s
number of poles, sir.
Number of poles, that is p is equals to 4.
0
ಅಲ್ವಾ 0 1 2
sir,
3.
0 plus 1.
ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ 0
Plus
plus
one.
1, yes, correct. 0 plus 1, not minus 1. This is 0 plus 1 and these things, right? It is poles, number of poles will be 4, number of zeros, z is equals to 1, right? Now we shall locate the poles and zeros in the s plane here. So what I'll be considering here is, for this I'll be considering 1 unit is equals to 1 centimeter, right? But in your graph you just consider 1 unit is equals to 2 centimeters, right? So that the thing will be bigger. But here, as the graph is small, I'll be considering 1 unit is equal to 1 centimeter here. So first pole is at s is equals to 0. So I'll be marking that s is equals to 0. This is one pole, right? Next, s is equals to plus 1. S is equals to plus 1. This is the another pole, right? Next, s is equals to minus 2 plus 3.708, right? Minus 2 is, this is minus 1, minus 2, 3.708. 1, 2, 3, 3.708. Yeah, I think I need to get this one down. I'll just take this one down. Yeah. Now, first root is s is equals to 0. This is one root. This is one root here, and s is equals to minus plus 1 is the another pole, and we have s is equals to minus 2.5, 3.708. It is minus 2.5. This is 1, 2, 2.5 is here, and 3.708, right? So this is 1, 2, 3.708 will be somewhere here, and this is the third root. Similarly, minus 2.5 minus 3.708, 2.5, 1, 2, 3.708 will be here, right? These are the four poles what we have, right? Next we need to find out the 0. 0 is minus 1, right? This is the 0 part, this is minus 1, right? So I'll be writing s is equals to plus 1 and s is equals to 0 and s is equals to minus 1, and here I'll be having s is equals to plus 2.5 minus 3.708 j. Similarly here s is equals to minus 2.5 minus 3.708.
Sir, upper one is plus 3.708.
Yeah, it is plus 3.708, correct. This is minus 2.5 plus 3.708 minus 2.5 minus 3.708, right? Yes. Right. Next, what is the second step? What is the second step? Step 2 is to find out the asymptote, right? Is to find out the asymptote and its angle. Asymptote and its angle. Right. To find out asymptote, what we need to do? We need to have q. Q is what? Q is equals to p minus z, right? So this is 4 minus 1, that is 3. So the value of q will be what? Q is equals to 0, 1 and 2. These will be q value. And to find out asymptote angle phi a, what we need to do? We need to have the formula phi a is equals to 2q plus 1 into 180 divided by p minus z. This is the formula to find out the asymptote angle. So this becomes 2q plus 1 into 180 divided by P minus Z is 4 minus 1. Right. So 5A.
Branches, right, sir? Number of step 2 is number of branches, right, sir?
Whatever you can do. That is not a problem. Yeah.
Sir, Q is equal to 4. So here you have to check, sir, either P is greater or Z is greater.
See, that is number of branches. But here I'll change the steps. Next, I'll be doing with the branches.
Okay, okay.
That is asymptote and its angle I've taken here. Right. We'll do that one after this. This is asymptote and its angle I've taken here, not the number of branches. Right. So asymptote and its angle, you can change the steps, not a problem. You need not to follow the same steps. You can change. That is not a problem here. Right. So what will be phi A1 asymptote angle? Phi A1 will be substitute 0.
60 degree.
Yeah, that is one is 60 degree. Another one is when you substitute 60, 180, right?
It is, sir.
And third one will be 300, I think, right? Yeah, third one will be 300 degree. Right. These are the asymptote angle here. Right. Asymptote angle, and we shall go with this one, number of branches. I'll be taking in step 3, that is number of branches, right? Number of branches will be P or Z, whichever is greater, right? P or Z, whichever is greater here. So here P is greater than Z, so number of branches will be P, which is N, that is equals to 4. Number of branches N will be 4 here. Right, number of branches N will be 4. You can change this one to step 2 and take this one as step 3. Not at all a problem. You can change like that. And we'll go to step 4. Step 4 is to
Starting and ending point.
number of branches, starting and ending point we need to take. That is, starting point will be the poles, that is 0, 0 plus 1 and minus 2.5 minus 2.5 plus 3.708 J and minus 2.5 minus 3.708 J here, right? And terminating points will be minus 1, that is the 0 here, and infinities, right? 3 infinities. These are the terminating points here, right? What is the next step is to find out the centroid. Next step is to find out the centroid here. What is the formula we have to find out centroid? To find out centroid, we have the formula summation of real parts of pole minus summation of real parts of 0. It's summation of real parts of 0 divided by number of poles minus number of zeros, right? Summation of real parts of pole. Here you see what is the summation of real parts of pole will be 0, 1. Here real part is only minus 2.5. This is the only real part, and similarly here also this is the only real part. You need not to consider the imaginary part, that is 3.708. Need not to consider the imaginary part, that is 3.708. So what happens now? It is first one
Minus
is 0. Just a minute. 0 minus plus 1. 0 plus 1 minus 2.5 minus 2.5. And these are the real parts of pole minus real parts of 0. The root is minus 1. So this is minus 1 divided by 4 minus 1. That is pole, number of poles is 4, number of 0 is 1. How much centroid? Centroid is 1.667. Right. This is the centroid. Right. Now we shall mark the centroid first, that is 1.667 here. This 1.667 is here. This is the centroid. So I'll be marking this as a centroid here.
Negative 1.67. Negative 1.667.
Negative. No, centroid, just check out centroid. Minus 1. Plus 1.
So
This
centroid
is-
minus 1, sir.
Just minus 1, right? Not 1.661. Yes. It's just 1 here. I think minus 1, right?
Minus 1, sir.
Yeah.
Minus 1.
Yeah, this is minus 1. Centroid is minus 1 here. right? So I shall mark the centroid is this one, right? So this is the centroid here. We'll mark this side. Centroid is -1 here. Right. So next, what is the next step? What is the next step? Step 5.
Real axis, segment of real axis.
Right. Next, we need to find the segment of real axis which belongs to root locus here. Right. Segment of real axis which belongs to root locus. That is the step number 5. Right. To find out that, what we need to do, first we shall check what are the roots we have on the real axis. We have 3 roots, that is s is equals to 1, s is equals to 0, and s is equals to -1. Only 3 roots we have. Right. For this, we need to check whether the root locus exists or not. Right. First, in between 1 and 0, in between 1 and 0, that means here towards the right of this, that is 1 and 0, in between these two we shall check the root locus exists or not here, right? When you check in between these two, first what we need to do, we need to cover up -0 and count towards the right. Right? Towards the right, how many poles plus zeros are there? We have only one pole, that is s is equals to 1. So that is poles plus 0 towards right is 1, right? That is odd. Hence the root locus exists. Right? Hence the root locus exists. Next, in between, next we need to check in between 0 and -1. We need to check in between 0 and -1 here. And in between 0 and -1. Right. So in between 0 and -1, we need to cover up -1 and count towards the right of -1. So how many poles plus 0 we have? 1 and 2. Right. We have 2 poles. Right. P plus Z is what? P plus Z is 2 plus 0. This is 2 and this is even. Right. So root locus does not exist. Right. Root locus does not exist. Now coming on to third one, that is -1 and -infinity. Towards this -1 and -infinity here, that is in between -1 and -infinity here. Right. First, for that, what we need to do, we need to cover up towards left. That is -infinity and count towards the right. So how many poles plus 0 we have? 2 poles and 1 0. Right. 2 poles and 1 0 here. That is P plus Z is equals to 2 poles and 1 0. That is 3 odd. Right. Hence the root locus exists. Right. When you get this one, you can directly mark the root locus plot here. You can plot the root locus. You can plot the root locus. See here what we have. We have the root locus present here in between these two. In between these two, the root locus is there, and in between here, the root locus is present here. Here, the root locus is present here. Right. So we got in between 0 and -1, we have the root locus, and -1 and -infinity, we have the root locus here. Right. This is what we got from this. Right. What is next step? After getting this, what is the step number 6? What is step 6? Is to find out the break in point and break away point. Right. Break in and break away point, if there are anything. Right. For that, what we need to do? We need to consider the characteristic equation. Right. Characteristic equation is what? G of s into h of s
Sir.
is equals to, yeah.
Sir, in between -1 and -infinity, only P is equal to 2, sir. How Z is equal to 1?
See, 0 is how many? So let us assume this is infinity, right?
-infinity,
So,
yes, sir.
yeah, -infinity. So I'll be covering up -infinity and count towards the right. This is
Okay,
0, right? S is equals to -1 is 0.
But we are taking, sir, in between -1 and -infinity, not
-1 and, no, the same thing we are doing, right? 1 and 0. That means in between 1 and 0, we'll be covering up. So what we need to do, we need to neglect towards the left. This side you need to neglect and count towards the right. See what we have, 1, 2 and 3 roots. And similarly, if you are counting in between these two, -1 and 0, you need to neglect towards left of this one. You need to neglect towards left of this. You need to count here. Right? Similarly, here also, if you are counting in between these two, you need to neglect these things. Okay, you need to neglect this and count towards the right. Right? So we have one. You have one here. So similarly, you have two for this, that is -1 and 0. And for this -infinity and -1, you will be having 3.
Got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. What happened? Shall go with the next step. We need to, for that, what we need to do, we need to find out the break in and break away point. For that, what we need to do, we need to consider the characteristic equation 1 plus g of s into h of s equals 0 there. Right? So what is the g of s and h of s he has given? He has given as this one, that is k into s plus 1 divided by s into s minus 1 divided by into s square plus 5s plus z, I think. Yeah, 5s plus 20, right? That is 1 plus k into s plus 1 divided by s into s minus 1 into s square plus 5s plus 20 is equals to 0 here. So we shall solve this one. What happens? This becomes s square minus s into s square plus 5s plus 20 plus k into s plus 1 is equals to 0. So this becomes s raised to 4 plus 5s cube plus 20s square plus s cube plus 5s square.
Minus is cube, sir.
Yeah, this is minus. Sorry, this is minus here. This is also minus here. And this is also minus 20 s plus k into s plus 1 is equals to 0. So this becomes s raised to 4 plus 4s cube, right? 2 and we have minus 5, right? 2 and minus 5. This becomes minus 3s square and minus 20
sir.
s.
20 s square, sir.
Huh?
That is 20 s square in the top.
This one.
No, sir. That is 20 s square.
Yeah, this is 20 s square. Yes, correct. This is 20 s square. And so this becomes 15s now.
Yes, sir. Plus 15 s square.
This is plus 15s square minus 20s plus k into s plus 1. Just check out, is this equation is correct? S raised to 4 plus 4s cube plus 15s square minus 20s plus k into s plus 1 is equals to 0. Yes, correct. So what we need to do, we need to find out in terms of k. In terms of k means this becomes minus s raised to 4 minus 4s cube plus, sorry, this is minus minus 15s square plus 20s whole divided by s plus 1, right? So what is the next step? The next step is to find out dk divided by ds. Dk divided by ds here. So for that, what you need to do, you need to differentiate with numerator and denominator. For that, differentiation of this one, numerator by denominator, that is denominator s plus 1 into differentiation of numerator, that is minus 4s cube minus 4 z 12 s square minus 30 s plus 20 minus of numerator, that is minus s raised to 4 minus 4s cube minus 15s square plus 20 into s plus 1 becomes 1 here.
20 s, sir.
Yeah, 20s. Sorry, this is 20s whole divided by s plus 1. Right, this should be equated to 0 here. right? So you need to solve here. That is, I'll multiply these two inside. That is 4 minus 4s raised to 4 minus 12s cube minus
ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್
30s.
ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್?
Yeah, denominator square. Yes, correct. Denominator square plus 20s minus 4s cube minus 12s square minus 30s plus 20 minus of minus becomes plus s raised to 4 plus 4s cube plus 15s square minus 20s. Just solve this one. Solve this one and tell me the answer. Final answer. ಏನು ಬಂದಿದೆ? Just solve and tell me the final answer. This is s raised to 4, 4s raised to 4, that is minus 3s raised to 4, and cube we have 3, that is minus 12 minus 4 and plus 4. These two get cancels off. That becomes minus 12s cube and square 30, 12 and 15. 30, 12 and 15, we will be getting 27s square, and then 20s minus 30s and minus 20s. Minus 20 minus 30, 20 get cancels. That is 30s and then less plus 20, right? Is equals to 0. Right? This is the equation what we have got. Right? For this, what you need to do? What you need to do for this? You need to find out the roots of this one. Right? Can you find out the roots of this? So I'll write in positive term. If you want, you can write in terms of positive, or you can keep it as it is. Find out the roots of this one. How to find out roots of this one? Fourth root. Yeah, guys, please tell me how to find out fourth root of this one. Guys, please think how to find out fourth root of this equation. So you will be getting s is equals to 4 roots here. X, Y, Z, right?
Sir, 0.
And, yeah, how you will find?
So through calculus, sir.
Yeah, just tell me, what are the roots? Tell me four roots.
0.447.
Just a minute. Yeah, s is equals to 0.447
447 minus 2.447.
minus 2.447.
Third
Then?
one, sir, minus 1
Minus
plus 2.25 gi. That is j.
2.25 j. Then?
And then similarly minus 1 minus 2.25 complex
Minus
roots, conjugate.
2.25 j. Right, these are the roots you can directly find out in your calculators. If you don't know how to solve, if you have the calculators, you just open up, take out your calculators. I'll tell. First, you need to substitute minus 3 alpha x raised to 4, right? Minus 12 alpha x raised to 3, right? Minus 27 alpha x square minus 30 alpha x plus 20 alpha equals 0. Right? You can directly substitute this in your calculators and find out the roots. That is shift solve. If you have 991 ms, if you have 991 es, then shift solve equals. If you have 991 es, you can solve as shift solve equals there. Yeah, for that, how many roots you got? Only one root you got, right? Then how to find out other 3 roots? How did you got other 3 roots? Someone told me the answer. How did you got other 3 roots? Just someone told the answer now, just now. Vishal, you told?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how did you got other 3 roots?
So first we find the heat and trial method for one root, then we divide that factor from, just like if you get 0.447, then we get s minus 0.447, then divide that equation, then we get cubic root, then we find through Calci, sir.
Okay. Yeah, your friend is telling little bit complicated. I need to see how he is doing. Just show it to your friends. So I think that might be easy. And I have one more method to find, that is Newton-Raphson method.
Mm.
Right? Right. See here, why I am choosing this Newton-Raphson method here is, when you go to the graph here, see, we got to know the root locus exists in between -1 and 0, right? Root locus exists in between 1 and 0, and root locus exists in between -1 and infinity, right? So we can directly assume that there might be a break-in point or breakaway point in between these two, that is 1 and 0, and here we will be having the break-in and breakaway point here, that is -1 and minus infinity. We might be having only these two combination. If the root, if we have the root here also, that is -1 and 0, that is not valid here, because we don't have the break-in or breakaway point here. So we need to find out the roots which is existing in between 0 and 1, and in between -1 and infinity here, minus infinity here. Right? In between these two, we need to find out the roots. So Newton-Raphson method, what does this tell? First, we need to write down the f of x. Right? What is f of x? F of x is this equation, that is minus 3s raised to 4 minus 12s cube minus 27s square minus 30s plus 20. Right? This is one f of x. So after that, you need to find out f dash of x. What is f dash of x? You need to differentiate this. So difference this becomes minus 12s cube minus 36s square minus 54s minus 30. Right? We got f of x and f dash of x. Right? After this, what you need to find out? You need to find out x of n plus 1. What is the x of n plus 1? X of n plus 1 will be s plus f of x divided by f dash of x. Right? This is the Newton-Raphson method you have studied in your mathematics. That is numerical methods 1 and 2. Right? So you need to substitute those values. That is s plus f of x is what? Minus 3s raised to 4 minus 12s cube minus 27s square minus 30s plus 20 divided by minus 12s cube minus 36s square minus 54s minus 30. Right? This is what? This is f of n plus 1 here. Right? So for this, what you do, just substitute this in your calculators. Just I want everyone to substitute this in your calculators. So substitute s as x. Right? That is alpha x plus, open the bracket, 2 times minus x raised to 4 minus 12 alpha x cube minus 27 alpha x square minus 30 alpha x plus 20 divided by minus 12 alpha x cube minus 36 alpha x square minus 54 alpha x minus 30, close the bracket. Now you press calculate. So for calculating purpose, first, what is the first number you need to substitute here is the root which is there in between 0 and 1. So from left hand side, we shall find out the root. So you can substitute s is equals to 1. You can substitute s is equals to 1. So substitute x is equals to 1 here. So what is the root you have got? For first trial, we have considered s is equals to 1 here. So for that, we have got as 1.3939. Right? Now again you press calculate and substitute the same value 1.3939. How much you got? That is 1.9624. Again you substitute the same value 1.9624. How much you got? 2.72. Sorry, yeah, we are getting increasing order, right? 2.7235. Again you press calculate 2.7235. So whatever you do, now the order is increasing here 6986, right? So you cannot take this as first number. So you just now you take s is equals to 0. You take s is equals to 0. Now what you will get? S is equals to 0. You got answer as minus 0.66667. Right? Now again you press calculate, s is equals to minus 0.6667. Right? I'm getting different value. Just a minute. I think I have made some mistake. The calculator. Sorry, this is not s plus. This is s minus. I made this mistake. This is s minus here. Sorry, guys. Please make a change. That is s minus there. Yeah, s minus. Now we can solve. Yeah, can take these answers are wrong. So first I have taken s is equals to 1. S is equals to 1. So I got this as 0.6060 here. Then again plus same value, s is equals to 0.6060. We'll be getting 0.4639. Calculate again 0.4639. We have got 0.44726. Calculate again 0.44726. How much you got? This is 0.4470. See here, successive 2 iterations. We have how much we have got? Successive 2 iterations. We have got 3 digits same. That is s is equals to 0.447. Right? S is equals to 0.447. This is one root. Right? Your friend got the same root here. 0.447. This is one root here. Right? Next again, what you do? You need to check for in between these two. In between these two, so you can directly assume that the root might be breaking somewhere here itself. In between these two, on here, the root will be breaking. Right here, because here we have the starting point, that is 0 will be having. We might be getting somewhere here, not on this point itself. At s is equals to -1, we will be not getting the s is equals to -1. You can check that one also. Plus s is equals to -1 and find out the root. But how much what you have got, will be getting match error there. So just increase that. Calculate s is equals to -1.5. Sorry. Calculate s is equals to -1.5. So I have started with s is equals to -1.5 for the second root here. Right? For s, we have got s is equals to -1.5 here. So for that, I have got as -4.354. Right? Calculate -4.3154. Got, that is -3.4514. Calculate -3.4514. And then I got -2.8609. Calculate -2.8609. I got, next is -2.5438. And similarly calculate -2.5438. This got -2.4535. Calculate -2.4535. Next I have got -2.4470. Calculate -2.4470. And again I'll be getting the same values -2.4470 here. Right? For this, the similar 2 iterations, we have got the same value. So I can write s is equals to -2.4470 here. Right? So what we have got with these two things. We have got the two roots. These are the two roots here, right? We are not, that is the same value we have got, minus 2.447 here. So I can directly mark in this, these two are the valid break in and break away points. That is minus 0.447 one root, that is plus 0.447. It is somewhere here. Plus 0.447 is this one, right? This is break away point. That is 0.447, and then we have got as minus 2.447 now. It is minus 2.447 is 1, 2.4, 1, 2, 2.5. This is 4 here, right? This is break in point. That is minus 2.447. Right. See here, I have taken this as a break away point. Why? Why I have taken this as a break away point? Because in between, these are the two poles what we have, that is s is equals to 0 and s is equals to 1. So these are the poles where the roots are starting here. So this is a break away point, right?
Because it comes in between poles.
Yeah, in between poles we have the roots in this one roots, it is in between poles. So this is a break away point, right? Now coming on to this, why I have taken break in point. See towards the left or right whether we have the pole or 0. Towards right we have a 0 here. Towards right we have a 0 here, and we don't have any other break in or break away point. We don't have any other break in or break away point. So we can consider this as only the break in point. This as only break in point here. That is minus 2.447 is a break in point here. Right. So we got to know that now the root will be coming here and it is breaking inside. These two roots are coming here and breaking inside here. For that, what we need to find out? We need to find out the angle of departure. Also, here the roots are breaking away. Here the roots are breaking away. Here the roots, when the breaks away, it will be crossing the imaginary line here. It might be crossing the imaginary line here. So we need to find out the roots which are crossing imaginary line here. Right. For that, what we need to do? We need to find out the k marginal value. That is step number. This is step number 7 here. Right. That is step number 7. So in step number 7, what we need to find out? The roots crossing imaginary axis. Right. Roots crossing imaginary axis. What we need to consider? We need to consider the characteristic equation again. Right. First characteristic equation. Which one you need to consider? Right. Above this, above the k value, whatever root this one you have, you need to consider that itself. Right. So I'll be writing this one. That is s raised to 4 plus 4s cube plus 15s square. S raised to 4 plus 4s cube plus 15s square minus 20s. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Minus 20s
Plus 4.
plus 4
Sorry, k.
plus k into s plus 1 is equals to 0. Right. For to do Routh's array, what we need to do? We need to have in s powers only here. That is decreasing order. The power should be in decreasing order. But here we have s twice. S power 1 twice. So I'll be reducing this equation. S raised to 4 plus 4s cube plus 15s square minus 20s plus k into s plus k is equals to 0. This is s raised to 4 plus 4s cube plus 15s square, and then I'll be taking s common here. So this becomes 1 minus,
Sir, 20.
sorry,
K
20.
minus 20, sir.
This is k minus 20, k minus 20 plus k is equals to 0. Just check out whether it is correct or wrong. Yeah, this is correct. So what we need to do? We need to find out the Routh's array here. Routh's array. Right. To do that one, I'll be taking like this. That is s raised to 4, s cube, s square, s raised to 1, and s naught. Right. This is coefficient of s raised to 4 is 1, and s cube is 4, s square is 15, and this is plus, right? Yeah, this is
K minus 20.
k minus 20 and this is k. Here it will be 0, right? So we need to find out this value. This will be multiply these two and multiply, subtract with this, right? So this becomes 15 into 4, that is 80, right? Just check out how much 15 into 4. 15 into 4 is 60.
60.
Yeah, 60 minus of k minus 20 divided by 4. So I'll just write how much I'll be writing here. 60 minus k minus 20 divided by 4. How much is this one? Just calculate.
80 minus K by 4.
So this becomes
80 minus K by
80 minus k divided by 4. Right. So this value will be k directly, because above this you can directly write the value. Right. Then next we need to find out this value. To find out this, I need to multiply these two and subtract with these two. Right. That is 80 minus k divided by 4 into k minus 20 minus of k into 4, 4k here, whole divided by 80 minus k divided by 4. Just find out, simplify this, what you will get. This becomes 80k minus k square minus 80 into 20, 1600, plus 20k minus 4k whole divided by 80 minus k divided by 4, right? We shall keep like this only. After that we can solve if you want, right? So we shall keep like this only. Now what is this value? What is this value? Is the value what we have obtained here. That
minus
is
16K, sir, because you have taken 4 LCM. It's minus.
we will do afterwards this one. Right? Whatever we have got, I'll write like this only. 80k minus, sorry, 80
Minus 20. 80 minus K.
80 minus k divided by 4 into k minus 20 minus of 4k all divided by 80 minus k divided by 4. So this value will be what?
0.
This value will be 0 here. So S0, I'll write it here. S0 will be what? S0 will be k, right? S0 will be k here, right? So which term I need to make complete 0? Which term I need to make complete 0 to take the auxiliary equation? This value,
S1.
right? S1. So I'll be writing that here. It is 80k, sorry, 80 minus k, 80 minus k divided by 4 into minus 20 minus of 4k whole divided by 80 minus k divided by 4 should be 0 here. So this term will vanish off. Remaining will be, I'll write here 80k minus k square minus 20 into 80 is 1600, right? Plus 20k minus 4k, no 4k. The LCM, no need LCM. Oh yeah, 16k. Now this becomes 16k whole divided by 4 here is equals to 0. So this becomes just here minus k square, right? And k 20k plus 18k is becomes 100k plus 100k minus 16. Sorry, this is
So that is not 80K, sir. It's only, okay, multiply.
how much this will be? Minus 16k again is equals to 0. So we'll be getting 100k minus 16k is 84k. That is minus k square plus 18. Yeah, minus 1600 I lost. Minus 1600 is equals to 0 here. This is 84k minus 1600 is equals to 0 here, right? This is plus, yeah. Now just find out the roots of this. can write it like this: k square minus 84k plus 1600 is equals to 0. Find out roots of this. Find out roots of this. What is the value of k? What is the value of k?
So 54.80
54.80
and 29.19.
and 29.19. Right. See here what you have got in previous sums. In previous sums, what is the k value you will be getting? Only one, you used to get only one k value, right? But here you have got k marginal as 2, right? That is 54.8 and 29.19. These are the two k marginal values, right? These are the two k marginal values. That means for this sum value in between these, the system is stable, right? For this, the system is stable, and above that, the system becomes unstable here, right? Above that, the system becomes unstable here, right? This is what you need to see in this. This is what you need to see here. But now what we need to do, we need to take down the auxiliary equation. This becomes our AS. Auxiliary equation is this one, right? So I'll be taking this as an auxiliary equation: 80 minus k divided by 4 s square. AS is the auxiliary equation here. That is 80 minus k divided by 4 s square, and we have the plus k here. Plus k is equals to 0 here. Right. These are the two values here. This is the auxiliary equation now. Now for that, what you need to do, you need to take for two values of k. That is, for first one, k marginal. For k marginal is 29.19, and for k marginal for 54.8. You need to take for two values here. Now substitute that. That is 80 minus 29.19 divided by 4 s square plus 29.19 is equals to 0. And similarly here, 80 minus 54.8 divided by 4 s square plus 54.8 is equals to 0. Right. Now find out this, calculate this, find out the value, roots of s here.
1.515J.
Yeah, how much you got? Yeah, 1.515J
1.515J
and
minus 1.515.
minus 1.515J. Similarly for this, find out for this, s is equals to, what are the roots? Got 2.94J and minus 2.94J. Right. These are the four roots what we have got. Right. So what you need to do, you need to mark that one in the S plane now. That is 1.515. 1.515. This is 1.515 is here. Right. This is 1.515J, and here similarly this is minus 1.515J here, and then next one is 2. How much? Yeah, we have got 2.94J. 2.94J is 2.94J is here, right? This is 2.94J and minus 2.94J is here. That is minus 2.94J. Right. Now what happens in between these two values, k marginal values, that is k is equals to 29.19, the system is crossing the imaginary axis. That means the system is crossing from unstable part to stable part. From where? From the value k 2.919 to 29.19 to 54.8. The system becomes stable here in between these two. Above this, the system crosses to unstable. Below this, that is 29.19, the system is unstable again. Right. So we need to mark that one here. Right. So what happens now? Here it will be like this. I'll take another color. Yeah. See here, we got to know the one root is moving here like this, another root is moving here like this. We have the breakaway point. It breaks away here and goes to this point and crosses the imaginary axis, come here, crosses the imaginary axis and travel here. Right. Now, how does this travel? This travel with the asymptote angle here. Right. Asymptote angle, what are the asymptote angles we have got? We have got 60, 180 and 300 degrees, right? 60, 180 and 300 degree. Where the asymptote line is located, that is on the centroid s is equals to -1. So first I have not marked that one, we shall mark that. Centroid angle s is equals to -1 is here. So 60 degree will be like this, somewhere out. Right, 60 degree will be somewhat like this, right, and 180 will be this, right, and 300 degree will be here somewhere. It is moving here. 300 degree will be somewhere here, right. 300 degrees here. That is phi of A3 is equals to 300 degree. Phi of A2 is equals to 180 degree, and this is phi of A1 is equals to 60 degree, right? Now this is moving along the asymptote line here. This is moving along the asymptote line to infinity. Right. Another route is like this. It is crossing the imaginary axis here. It's crossing the imaginary axis here, and again it is crossing imaginary axis here, and it will be moving along the asymptote angle. It will be moving along the asymptote angle to infinity here. Right. So this will be one route.
No, but it has to break into one point.
I'll show that one after this. Right. This is one route and another route. Two routes will be moving here. And we know one route is starting here, another route is starting here. But for this, what we need to find out? For the complex conjugate pole and zero, we need to find out the angle of departure and angle of arrival here. Yet we need to find out angle of departure and angle of arrival. If we have the pole on the complex conjugate, for that you need to find out angle of departure. And if we have zero on the complex conjugate, you need to find out angle of arrival. Right. Now, what we have the poles in the complex conjugate term. We have the poles on the complex conjugate term. So we need to find out the angle of departure. Right. So that is step number, I think 8. Right? Yeah. Step 8. Step 8 is to find out angle of departure. Right. To find out angle of departure, what is the formula we have? Phi d is the angle of departure, that is 2q plus 1 into 180. For departure, we have positive sign, right? What I have given? For departure, I think I have given positive sign.
You've taken plus or minus 180 on this, sir.
And then plus sign, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, plus phi I have taken, right? And then for phi is what? Phi is the angle of zeros minus angle of poles, right? Angle of zeros minus angle of poles, right? So first, what I am considering? I am considering the top one. That is minus 2.5 plus 3.708 j, right? First I'll be writing that. I'll write it here so that it will be easy. This is, let us assume this is minus 2.5 plus 3.708 j, and similarly one more is here, minus 2.5 minus 3.708 j, right? Somewhere here we have the real axis, and after that what we have here, we have one root, that is minus 1. This is 0 here. Here we had a 0 at s is equals to minus 1, and s is equals to 0 we had another pole, and s is equals to plus 1 we had another pole, right? For this we need to find out the angles here, right? This is one angle here like this, right? This angle here, and you need to find out this angle here, lastly this angle here, right? So you need to find how many angles, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? 4 angles you need to find out here. First, what is this angle? This angle will be 90 degree, right? For this, what you need to write? For this, I'll write it here. For this, what happens? 180 minus of this angle. 180 minus of this angle. This angle is what? Here, this side becomes 2. This is 3.708. Right? This is 3.708, and this is 2.5. Right? This is tan inverse of opposite by adjacent. That is 3.708 divided by 2.5 here. This angle. Right? Similarly, this angle will be what? This angle will be 180 minus of tan inverse. This length is opposite is 3.708 whole divided by this complete length is 2.5 plus 1, that is 3.5 here. Right? Similarly, this angle is what? This is 180 3.708.
That's 1.5, sir, because it's
Yeah, this is 1.5, correct. This is 1.5, this becomes 2.5 here, right? So this length is 2.5 here. From here to this point is 2.5 here. This is 2.5, this is 1.5 here, this is 1 here, and this is 1 here, right? So 3.708 divided by this is 3.5 here, right? So I can directly write here. So 5 will be what? 5 will be, that is zeros. Angle of zeros is 180 minus of tan inverse this one. This is 0 here. This is 0 here, not a pole. So angle of 0 is 180 minus of tan inverse this angle, right? Tan inverse 3.708 divided by 2.5, right? This is angle 5 of zeros. Minus of poles. Minus of pole first will be 90 degree. This is one pole. Second pole is this one. Sorry, this is not 2.5. This is 1.5 here. Yeah, 1.5. Then I need to add up this summation of poles. So this becomes 180 minus tan inverse of 3.708 divided by 2.5 plus 180 minus of tan inverse 3.708 divided by 3.5. Just check whether whatever we have written is right or not. Find out the angle of 5. What is the angle of 5?
121.33 degrees.
How much you got? 120.
121.33 degrees.
121.33 degree here. Is this correct? You have subtracted this one.
Yes, sir.
Just check out. Is plus 5 or minus 5 then? Just check whether this is correct or wrong. No, you'll be getting the wrong rating. Just check. Just check, guys. Is that correct?
Sir, there you have written the value.
Yeah. Angle of
Plus
poles is
five.
plus 5, correct.
This is 133, sir.
Okay. Yeah, we have got 121.33 degrees, right? So after this, what you need to do? You need to add up for this, right? That is 5D. 5D will be 2Q plus 1 into 180 plus 121.33. Now add up 180 plus 121.33. How much? How much?
301.3.
301.33, na? 301.33 degree, right? That is 5D. Angle of departure is 301.33 degree here, right? Now 301.33 means this is 180, this complete is 180, and 270, this is 270, and 301 is somewhere here, right? This will be the angle here, right? So you need to mark that as that on the S plane here. You need to mark here somewhere here, you will be getting that departure angle 5D here. I'll just take this pencil. Right. This will be the angle here like this. This is 301.33 degree. This is what? This is 5D value, departure value. Similarly, for this also, you can take down this angle will be what? This angle will be minus 301.33 degree here. Right? This is the angle of departure here. Now the angle, the root will be departing on this and coming and meeting the break away point here, this point, break away, break in point, and it will be merging. One will be merging towards S is equals to -1. Another one will be going to the infinity here, right? So I'll just write that one. Now one is coming here like this and breaking here into the real axis like this, and one will be moving towards right, another will be moving towards left here like this. This is going to the infinity. Yes, this is how you need to draw the root locus, right? This is a 5D value here, minus 301.33. Yes. Do you have any doubts in this? See here, now the system is stable only for this value. Only in this region, the system is stable here. See, only this region, the system is stable. When you want to state the stability, right? What do you need to state the stability here? The system is stable in between the value k is equals to for 29 point, we have here now. The value of k, how much we got? 29, yeah, these two, right? For stable system, the stable system, the value of k should be in between 29.19, right? And it should be greater than k greater than 54.8, right? For this, the system is stable here, right? Now for unstable, it should be less than, k value should be less than, sorry, k value should be less than 29.19, and k value should be greater than 54 point, sorry, this is wrong, 54.8. Yeah, it should be greater than this, that is value of k, right?
Other way around.
It's like this.
Yes, sir.
It should be greater than this and it should be less than this. Then the system is unstable. For marginal value, the value of k should be what? K should be 29.19 and 54.8. This is the k marginal value, this is stable value, and this is unstable value. This is what you need to state for the stability here, right? This is stable, unstable, and marginally stable here, right? Yeah. Have any doubts in this? If you have any doubts, you can ask, guys. with the root locus. You need to state the stability here. See here, this when you get the value of k twice, that means the for some value only the system will be stable here. Less than that also the system is unstable. More than that also the system is unstable. If you have any doubts, you can ask. If you don't have doubts, I'll just share you the link for this one attendance. You can do that one.